For the first time in 19 years, the Buffalo Sabres have advanced in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They and the Montreal Canadiens know each other well in the Atlantic Division as they are rivals, having faced off 4 times in the regular season. But they haven't met since the last day of January, which ended a stretch where they played each other 3 times in 17 days. Each team won twice, scoring 13 goals. It doesn't get any closer than this. And Game 1, which is tonight, will set the tone that will play through the next 2 weeks. It's the 8th time that these two teams met in the playoffs. The Canadiens won 4 of the 7 previous series, but it's the first time they're meeting in the 21st century. The last time they met was in the Eastern Conference Semifinals in 1998. Buffalo won a 4-game sweep in a series where Montreal used 3 different goaltenders: Andy Moog, Jocelyn Thibault, and Jose Theodore. Each team won twice in the regular season series, winning once at home and once on the road. Montreal's 2 wins were 4-2 final scores. Jakub Dobes stopped 30 shots in the October 20th meeting and 36 in the January 31st meeting. The latter seeing Cole Caulfield score twice. Buffalo's 2 wins were separated a week apart. They won 5-3 on January 15th on Tage Thompson's 5-point night, and they won 4-2 on January 22nd behind Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's 32-save effort. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava, and it's quite the ride for the Sabres in their first round series against the Boston Bruins. Start of a thrilling comeback at home, end of a bounce-back win on the road. This series included a blowout win, an overtime loss, and plenty of memorable moments for the Sabres. They were led by a dominant showing from Alex Lyon, who allowed just 5 goals in 5 games after filling relief of Luukkonen, leading the playoffs of a .955 save percentage. They and the Canadiens are similar in that they're young, balanced, and highly skilled teams, coming off series wins over longtime division frontrunners. Montreal, like Buffalo, won 3 road games in their series against the Tampa Bay Lightning, albeit they won their series in 7 games. Dobes, who started all 7 games, had a .923 save percentage and stopped 98 of Tampa's last 102 shots through the final 3 games of their series. The Canadiens both won the best regular season records on the road, so it shouldn't be a big concern for Les Habitants. They're going up against the 3rd best penalty kill in the playoffs among remaining teams, but they need to rekindle some of their special teams magic. They generated in the first half of the opening round after going 0-4 their final 7 in their power play in games 5, 6, and 7. Buffalo may need some of that magic as well. They only converted 1 power play against Boston on 24 tries after going 39 power plays without a goal before their lone power play marker in Game 5 of that series. Ian Gedge is joined along for this one. How you doing, Ian?
I'm doing good, man. I'm actually excited for this. So, before the game starts, I want to touch up on something that you, John, Cooper, and we all talked about, and it was what would be a successful season for the Buffalo Sabres, and and we were talking about it, and Cooper made a good point. He said winning 1 playoff series was successful, but it would be. But he also mentioned that, you know, with the joy of winning a playoff series, if they were to make it to, I know we're in the semis, but if they were to somehow win this, make the conference finals and lose, that it would leave a sour taste in the mouth of Sabres fans. Do you think, what do you think of that?
The double-edged sword is that, yes, it is a successful season if you win at least 1 playoff series. The double-edged sword as part of this, Ian, is that it will come with heightened expectations in the following year. And the worst fear is that the front office may be content with this current roster and run it back with the same core. You can't run it back with the same core. You need to fix the power play.
Yeah. So would that mean the case? Buffalo? It's asking a lot, but honestly, your best bet this season is to be like every other team and go win that cup.
Yep, chasing the Stanley Cup may be the best reward of them all. It will be Buffalo's first ever Stanley Cup in franchise history. They made the finals twice before, 1975, 1999, both of them resulting in 6-game series losses, one to the Philadelphia Flyers, the other to the Dallas Stars in the infamous Brett Hull skate in the crease incident in Game 6 of that series. So we're going over to our lineups, beginning with the visiting Montreal Canadiens, and they do have a new face on the lineup. We'll get to that in a moment. Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and Yuri Slafkovsky is their top line. Alex Newhook, Jake Evans, and Ivan Demidov on their second line. Alex Texier, Philip Deneau, and Josh Anderson on the third line. On the fourth line is Zach Boduk, Kirby Dach, and making his playoff debut this season, Joe Veleno, who is replacing Brendan Gallagher in the lineup, as Gallagher is averaging just south of 7 minutes per game on time on ice. Defense pairs go like this: Mike Matheson with Alex Carrier, Lane Hudson with Noah Dobson, and Caden Gooley with Arbor Jacki, who is also back in the lineup. He replaces Jaden Struble. Jakub Dobeš has been electric in this playoffs. He allowed just 3 goals in the final 3 games of the first round series. In the first round series, he allowed just 4 goals in the final 3 games of the first round series against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Of course, he's going to get the nod for the Ohio State product. Now for the Buffalo Sabres. Their lineup combos go like this: Peyton Krebs, Tage Thompson, and Alex Tuch on the top line. Jason Zucker, Ryan McLeod, and Jack Quinn on the second line. Zach Benson, Josh Norris, and Josh Stone on the third line. And to round out the forecore, Jordan Greenway, Tyson Kozak, and Beck Bauenstein. There was an update on the Sam Carrick front. He has been cleared to practice after missing a lot of action ever since he suffered an arm injury during a fight. That was in an NHL game. They don't want anyone to get the wrong impression. Now the defense pairs for Buffalo: Matthias Samuelsson and Rasmus Dahlin, Bowen Byram and Owen Power. Logan Stanley inserted back into the lineup. He replaces Michael Kesselring. He is paired next to Connor Timmins on the third pair. Alex Lyon has been incredible after filling in relief of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He has allowed just 5 goals in his entire postseason. 1 goal apiece between games 3, 4, and 6 against Boston, and 2 goals in Game 5, including the overtime winner by David Pastrnak, his second career playoff overtime winner. Winner of this series is likely going to face the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final, barring a comeback by the Philadelphia Flyers, down 2-0 in that series. But to say the least, between Buffalo and Montreal, to say that both teams were evenly matched is about as big of an understatement as saying the Habs' first round series with the Bolts was tightly contested. There's not much that separates these two. One big difference is that the Habs' top 4s were locked up by the Bolts, while the Sabres' top 4s enjoyed a lot of success against the Bruins. The Habs gave up 5 power play goals, trying to run a free defenseman rotation of Mike Matheson, Alex Carrier, and Caden Gooley. The first 2 had issues keeping the puck from the top of the crease, despite having the third best penalty kill among remaining teams. But with Dobson back, they now have 2 stable pairs that can be deployed in shorthanded situations, lightening the load on Matheson and Carrier. Dobson made his playoff debut in Game 7, and he had an instant impact on the defensive side of the ice. 4 hits and 2 blocked shots in 18:37 of ice time. Expect that to increase just 3 days after his return from injury. They're coming off 2 days of rest. They stayed in Tampa until they arrived in Buffalo on yesterday. They have only been on the ice once since the emotional series finale. They did not hold a morning skate today. This is new territory for the 2 youngest teams in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Jakub Dobeš with 203 GA and 923 save percentage. Alex Lyon has been an otherworldly 114 GA, 955 save percentage. This place has been looking forward to playoff hockey for 15 years. They got that chance in the first round when they tasted that miraculous comeback against the Boston Bruins. We were there for that one, Ian. We're hoping that this game brings up all the hype. Josh Norris and Nick Suzuki on the face-off dot. It's won by Norris. Let's get rocking and rolling. Caulfield and Suzuki to begin this game. Oh man, this puck sailed wide to go for Josh Doan. Immediately the Sabres get to work offensively. And not keeping this puck in the zone was Owen Power. It is Doan again. He'll move this up. Penalty is coming up against the Canadiens, so they're going to be shorthanded first. And as Slavkovsky touches up, well, that was quick. It took just 30 seconds of this series to get the game's first penalty. It is a tripping penalty against Lane Hudson. Our referees are Wes McCauley and Pierre Lambert. Linesmen are Scott Cherry and Jesse Marquis. Zach Benson got tangled up by Hudson as he was driving hard towards the net, contesting the loose puck as it bounced up at the left circle. And Hudson quipped his skates. So the Sabres are going to the power play early. They have converted just once in this postseason on 24 tries. They cannot survive another round of that. Otherwise, it'll be an early exit. Dead last easily on the power play. Montreal's penalty kill, 82.8%. Buffalo is 1 for 46 on the man advantage since the start of April. It is Thompson, Tuck, Norris, Zucker, and Dahlin on this top unit. Give and go offside. And this is part of the discombobulation of this power play group. They need to get this fixed. We're 57 seconds into the opening frame. If you're just joining us, it is Montreal and Buffalo here in this second round series. Let's go Buffalo chants here. At KeyBank Center, Sabres in the royal blue, Canadiens in the white. This is sent all the way down to the other end as Buffalo plays this out. Alex Lyon, who's been amazing this postseason in the crease. Rasmus Dahlin, the captain, drives this for Tuck. Couldn't get the return feed for Dahlin, and the Habs will get this down. They're an underrated defensive team. And the 82.8% penalty killing rate, not too shabby. And that's a respectable number in the playoffs, especially for a team that has Nick Suzuki, Philip Deneau, Noah Dobson, Alex Carrier, Mike Matheson, and Caden Goulet leading the defense. Not to mention Jake Evans joining Suzuki and Deneau on the forward side. This was played out of play, so this faceoff is going to come outside of the zone. The second unit is out there at center ice. McLeod Dode. McLeod wins this faceoff. So it comes back for Bowen Byram, part of this second unit. With Zach Benson and Jack Quinn. Quinn drops. And here's the speedy McLeod down the near side. Trying to gallop his way past. Doan. Pass is intercepted and it'll be cleared down the lane. Near side. No shot on this power play. Bowen Byram will start up at the far side. Former Stanley Cup champion with the Colorado Avalanche. And McLeod will start up with speed again. McLeod through the left wing. Stops on a dime. At the far corner is cut off by Goulet. And he banks this one out. This bounces up at center ice. And Benson will re-enter at the puck. Zach Benson surveys at the near half boards. Wants to go back for Byram. And a very auspicious pass finds him. Bowen Byram. Return feed from Owen Power to him. And now it's Power. Lets one go. Walked in front. Rebound. And that hit the side of the cage. And Dobish's mask comes off. The referee saw that. They had to stop the play immediately. That was Mike Matheson with the early block in this game. So we're still about a shot on goal. Josh Doan tried a sharp angle shot. And it hit Dobish at the mask. It was a shot pass to Doan, with Zach Benson setting up traffic in front. Good thing that the referee saw the mask come off of Dobish to stop the play immediately. The first shot on goal belonging to Doan. And Dobish has a .926 high danger save percentage this postseason, which ranks second among goaltenders. Six power play goals for Tage Thompson this season. But he hasn't scored in a while on the man advantage. and he is kicked out the draw. Alex Tuch will slot in. Another righty. Queen win by Danault. This should run out the rest of the power play as it's cleared down to the Sabres end. And Hudson's out the box. Reentering his power. Pass intercepted as he wanted to give and go. Veleno making his playoff debut. Sends this down to Buffalo territory, and Lyon will leave this out for Tuch. The number 89 has not been worn since Alexander Mogilny in Buffalo. Tuch chose to wear this jersey number. A previous Buffalo Sabre, Corey Conacher, deferred to number 88 out of deference and respect to Mogilny. Here's Carrier. Towards the right circle, cycles the net. Sent a pass in front, never made it to the net. Owen Power stick this one away, and Veleno got smashed by Jordan Greenway. That'll get the crowd all hyped up here at the 7-1-6. Sharp angle shot, never made its way to Dobish. And here's Veleno, who got leveled by Mallenstein. Here's Connor Timmins, former Av, former Leaf. Greenway towards the near half boards, wanted to get this down low at the near corner. Centering pass to the left circle, kick saved by Dobish. Kept in by Connor Timmins, that was Logan Stanley with the shot. Tyson Kozak, and the Sabres are crashing and banging bodies all over the ice over this past minute. Fans love that. Timmins, from his own zone, will drop. And here's McLeod. He can turn on the afterburners. He will flip this one to Dobish, who plays it behind the net. High puck played by Demidov at the near half boards. Poked away, and the Habs will advance. Alex Newhook with the game-winning goal off a baseball bat out of midair in Game 7 against the Lightning. Here's Hudson, wide open space, left side. Hudson fires, and that's up high. Right off of Alex Lyon. Another quick shot, swallowed up by Lyon. He will hang on. We have all sorts of action here in this series opener. A board battle is how it all started, and Hudson was going short side on Lyon, going towards this low blocker that was kicked out off his pad. So the Canadiens get two quick shots here over the last 8 seconds. Face off to the left of Lyon between Suzuki and Norris. It's a matchup that the Canadiens want, and Norris wins this face-off. Power sends this out to center ice. All I know is what the Canadiens use a 2-on-1. Pass in front for Tony, scores! The Montreal defender fell down and allowed for a 3-on-1 the other way. Norris to Doan for the series opening goal.
Alec, it may... You know, the Buffalo power play is a miss, but outside of the Hurricanes, name me a team that is more dangerous 5-on-5 than the Buffalo Sabres right now.
In the East, I don't think any other team would come close. The West, you could argue with the way that Colorado is playing, they can match the way that these two, but oh my goodness. What a disastrous sequence for Lane Hudson. Here's Caulfield back the other way, turns it over to Thompson. And it was Hudson who fell down to allow for the 3-on-1 break set up by Josh Norris. And it's the two Joshes who connect for the first goal. Caulfield teams one up, and that's blocked away by Alex Lyon. Contested for the near quarter. Slavkovsky tried to dig it out. Here's a 3-on-2 the other way. Here's Thompson. Leveled is out left side. Centering pass. Tuch! Great save by Dobish. That's why he's been this excellent in the Tampa series. The ability to change a game on his own. There was nothing he could do on that opening goal. Josh Stone scoring his second career playoff goal as his puck comes loose top of the left circle, held in by Suzuki. Deep one-timer fired up high. There's a broken stick on the ice. On around for Josh Anderson, who has seen some minutes on the top line of Suzuki and Caulfield at times. Long shot is blocked and goes out of play. It's fortunate for Buffalo that this one goes out of play because there was a broken stick on the ice. Now, if you're Shane Doan, the father of Josh Doan, you got to be all smiles after seeing that goal. Another rush by the Sabres. It was Alex Tuch who blasted one up high, almost had that one. Cole Caulfield, who has to get going here 5-on-5. The top line for Montreal has been struggling. And that was noticeable in the Tampa series. Tyson Kozak part this fourth line, taking his face off against Philip Deneau, who wins it. Deneau rushes to the puck and keeps it in. The third line out there for Montreal. Flipped in front and Lyon made the save. Kept alive by Anderson. Plays it out to the left point. Fired it just wide intentionally. He wanted deflection from Anderson. Played out by Byram. Bouncing puck at the right point. Pushing and shoving there. Dome from Benson. And this is Woolley. Another deep one-timer fired wide. This puck comes out to the right circle and the Sabres get this one out. And it's misfired on this pass. And the Montreal fans who made the trip were not happy about the waved off icing. They thought that it was far enough for it. It took a bounce off the far boards. Goalie will feed it up towards the far side. The fourth line Montreal gains some reps. Here's Veleno chasing after the puck. Opportunistic with it. High puck bouncing up in the air to the left circle. Veleno on his backhand trying to play this back towards the point. Two Sabres there, but it's kept alive by Kirby Dach. Dach flips one towards Lyon's left. Veleno still in pursuit. This puck, so is Dach. Veleno picks it up, fed back for Zach Beauduc, turns it over. Jack Quinn gets this to the Montreal zone. Noah Dobson picks this up. His last playoff action was when he was a member of the New York Islanders. That was before Montreal traded for him, both sending Emil Heineman and 2 first-round picks the other way. Lane Hudson down the near side. Gets this down deep, collected up by Demidov. Alex Newhook tangled up by Timmins. Taken up by Buffalo. It's Benson to Norris. Benson to Doan, not Norris to Doan. So excuse me. I thought I saw number 9. Benson gets tangled up by Carrier. It's freed up for Mike Matheson, the former Pittsburgh Penguin and former Florida Panther. Off this tie-up, this is Jake Evans with it. Takes it back for Montreal. Alex Newhook works his way up the left circle. And on one hand, he gets it to Demidov at the near corner. Play back to the left point for Matheson. Matheson unloads for Carrier, who takes one that deflected. That was blocked in front. The puck comes back towards the point and out to center as Carrier places up front. Demidov tried to feed this back for Carrier. At the Canadiens bench, Anderson pushing and shoving as Dobich left this one behind for Matheson. The Sabres have the only goal thanks to Josh Stone on a 3-on-1 break. From the far side, this is Caden Goulet, who start things up. This is Juraj Slafkovsky. Quick shot was blocked by Owen Power, and this will be kept in by Montreal, sent in deep to Slafkovsky. Juraj Slafkovsky surveys from the near corner, give and go for Cole Caulfield. Back to the point, Goulet. Shot this one wide. Here's Dobson. Missed Suzuki, but this reaches Caulfield. And his pass missed Goulet, and the Sabres fans like this. Montreal will restart the puck from their own zone, and that allows Buffalo for a change of the lines. Caulfield waits. Has Greenway in front of him. Caulfield will just drop back and go for his change. Buffalo scored 4 goals in the first 5 minutes of playoff games, which is the most in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Deep pass was deflected. Foot race for the puck won by Josh Anderson as he picks this one up at the right circle. Feed in front of Deneau! Save by Lyon! Rebounds picked up by Anderson. Texier goes to him. Deneau will cycle this one at the far corner. Looks back towards the point. Here is Lane Hudson surveying from the left circle. He'll set up Anderson, who waits. Wide open is Deneau. Deneau shot blocked. He'll get this puck back. Wants to go to Jackeye and does. Harbor Jackeye. Fed it to Texier. Alexander Texier. Fakes the pass to Jackeye. Surveys. Goes to Hudson. Kerwin drag. Saved by Lyon. Rebound loose. Intercepted on the pass as Buffalo go back with this puck. Melenstein shut down by Jackeye as he stepped into his check. 5 shots for the Canadiens in the first half of this first period, as Josh Anderson and Beck Melenstein had wars for one another right in front of Darren Pang. And one of the Sabres defenders falls down. Here is Veleno cycling the net. Veleno tried to feed in front. Doc and Samuelson were together fighting for this loose puck. 7-6 come crashing down together. And the Sabres will look to expand on their lead. Dahlin drops back. Here's Jack Wood, who fires. Kick save, and the rebound is driven towards the far corner. Beauduc picks it up. Beauduc can't play this one out as it's held in by Buffalo. Towards the far corner. Mishandled pass, Carrier was there, and has played out for Doc at the far half boards. Flip this one out for center, and the Canadiens will change their lines. Fans and serenading Jakub Dobish as the Canadiens play this one onto Buffalo territory. We've gone several minutes without a whistle. As this pass was intercepted at center, the Canadiens will work this way back. U-hook on the receiving end from Evans. Alex U-hook to Ivan Demidov. What can he do? He'll flip it to Woolley. Miss out the pass for once, but then it will go back for Evans. Jake Evans centers one out in front. Bouncing puck is tracked by Lyon. He'll cover. And finally, the ice scrapage will happen with 9:12 left in the first period. Alec now being engaged with you. It's Josh Stone with the game's only goal.
So while we have a break, Alec, so Toronto won the first pick, but here's the thing. There's the matter of who they hired to be their general manager. A name that is, well, the last time we saw this man, it did not go so well for him.
Yeah, he snaked the Coyotes out of a first-round pick and a second-round pick because of illegal combines.
Yeah, John Chaika.
Yes.
I mean, to change the scenery and all that?
I'm not really confident in him, but the first pick should be a no-brainer. It's Gavin McKenna or bust. And because they got the first pick, Toronto that is, they'll lose their 2028 first-round pick, and the 2027 first-round pick becomes unprotected. If that unprotected first-round pick is in the top 10, they have to choose who gets the pick between Philadelphia and Boston. Remember, they trade a first-round pick to the Bruins to get Brandon Carlo alongside trading away Fraser Minton. They also trade away a first-round pick to the Flyers to get Scott Lawton. And if the pick in 27 is outside the top 10, the Flyers get the 2027 pick and the Bruins get the 2028 pick. So, kind of in a pickle here for Toronto, but the priority is simple. Get a number one defenseman immediately.
So really, Toronto's only hope is to have a major bounce back
Basically.
season and leave either the Bruins or the Flyers with, well, nothing.
Oh, to see what happens later. Yeah, so is this Buffalo working this deep in the Montreal zone? Yeah, as this is cleared out through center ice, as the Sabres go back to work here. Up for Josh Stone, and now to the near side, it is Zach Benson. Benson centering pass on the backhand was knocked away by Hudson. There's a broken stick on the ice. The Sabres will reset. Zach Benson will give and go. Owen Power, long shot deflected, and Dobish the save. Rebounds driven wide. Penalty is coming up. Bowen Byram was taken down. Buffalo will head back to the power play. It's going to be Nick Suzuki heading to the box with 8:25 left in the period. Tripping is the call.
Well, if trends continue, the Canadiens are not going to have anything to worry about.
Oh, that was Bowen Byram got knocked down. And, I know Buffalo has been dreadful on the power play this postseason. And quite frankly, since April. And having such an awful power play, you can't sustain that. I know playoff games are won 5-on-5, but you have to be good on the power play.
Yeah, I I don't know. I don't even know what's wrong with their power play. Because with their roster, I mean, do they just not have a natural power play quarterback?
I don't know. This is cleared down the ice. And Rasmus Dahlin is in all situations defenseman. He can be used on the penalty kill. He can be used on the power play. And he fries 5-on-5 too. Here is Tage Thompson as one of the Sabres got knocked down at center ice. The Canadiens will have a chance to go back the other way. Alex Newhook centers up in front. The pass was too far for him. Lyon places behind for Tuck. On the first power play, they had just one shot as his Dahlin who slows up and drops back. Dahlin falls down and he gets back on his feet. Feedback for Thompson at the far corner. Thompson never got his way to the puck. Alex Tuck couldn't keep the puck in the zone. And yes, as we see about the draft order, well, a future first-round pick will head to Toronto. That was Colorado's first-round pick that they traded to the Leafs in the Nick Waugh trade. Ryan McLeod will set up for Bowen Byram. And here's another drop. Jack Quinn will accelerate. Moving down the near side and sending this to the near corner. Quinn tried to pop it towards the slot. There was nobody home. No shots on this power play. Mike Matheson has been out there for over 100 seconds. He finally is up to the bench. Byram slows up. He'll drop off. Moving ahead is McLeod. McLeod keeps it. Loses it. Hudson. McLeod. Benson. On the retrieval. Pass back towards the left point for Byram. Byram backpedals. And he'll deliver left side. 18 seconds left on this power play. This pass goes back for Quinn. Quinn looks at Byram. He'll fire it himself. Loose in his slot. Could not be picked up. Rebound in front. Score! Ryan McLeod! Just the Sabres' second power play goal of the entire postseason. And it's 2-0.
I mean, you get as many chances as Buffalo had. Something had to get through.
They were due for it. Long overdue for it.
Yep, and Ryan McLeod, his first postseason goal.
Yeah, of this postseason. Remember, he was part of the 2024 Oilers team that pushed the Florida Panthers through 7 games after being down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final. And that was an impossible angle for McLeod to fire that. The Saberhood block party is going wild here. Cat outside. 6:30 left, and it's 2-0 Sabres. The goals coming from Josh Doan and Ryan McLeod. 91 and 71. Picked up by Buffalo as they're continuing to dominate 5-on-5. As Timmons' shot was blocked, comes back towards the top of the right circle for Malenstein. Jack Eye shoves him off. The Canadiens won 2-1 against Tampa Bay in Game 7 to improve to 8-6 on the road in Game 7s. Pass is cut away in the slot, and here's a stick lift by the Canadiens as Connor Timmins got double-teamed. And Demidov gets ran into by one of the Sabres. Connor Timmins will set up front towards the near side for Tage Thompson. Thompson on the keep. Thompson whips around the back end, feeds to the trailer. Dahlin, Samuelson, Dahlin, a blast! And that's wide, loose in the slot. And that goes wide of Thompson. It'll be restarted by Dahlin. Feeds this up front towards the middle. Samuelson sends this in deep. He scored the de facto game winner in Game 1 against the Boston Bruins in the first round series as Dahlin backhands this away from the approaching Zach Bolduc. Doc falls down, and there have been several cases of players falling down, including on that 3-on-1 goal. Here's Alex Tuck rushing in. Tuck tried to center it. It bounced off of Matheson's leg. And another big hit on Alex Carrier. The Sabres keep us in. Here's Jack Quinn. Tried to backhand this to Rasmus Dahlin. Backhander. And Dobesh sees this the entire way as Dahlin slided one. And they were sliding one 5-hole. There's some pushing and shoving at the end as Kirby Duck had some warts for Peyton Krebs. It is 2-0 Buffalo. And the Sabres are loving life right now. We'll be right back.
Ryan Ryan McLeod doubles the lead. Finally, just finally makes the Buffalo power play work. And right now, Buffalo is in a good position. You know, our 2-goal lead rule aside, Alec, this is where Buffalo wants to be right now.
Yeah. That they're a very suffocating team at 5-on-5. And they can punish you physically. You know, forget winning a playoff round. Their main goal wasn't winning one playoff round. Their main goal is Lord Stanley, Ian. And we'll note that this series is the one that we've been looking the most forward to between Buffalo and Montreal. These are the two youngest teams in the playoffs. And they're playing like it. The youth movement has been emphasized in the league. And the younger teams have excelled this postseason. Buffalo, Montreal, Philadelphia, Anaheim, to name those 4 young teams.
You know, this could just be team bias because I'm a fan of this team. But right now, I am seeing a lot of parallels between this Sabres team and the Stanley Cup winning Blues team of 2019. Started at the absolute depths of the NHL, climbed their way back up, except this time Buffalo won their division and second in the East. And they've just been a buzzsaw.
Yes. They've been a buzzsaw throughout, especially 5-on-5, and especially since the hiring of Jarmo Kekalainen. Puck sent in deep, McLeod will win the foot race to the puck. It is McLeod with the goal for the Buffalo Sabres to make it 2-0. Zucker sets up at the slot, puck comes out towards the right point, and it's played out to center by Montreal. It's the first time in which they've been trailing by 2 goals in the entire postseason. They've either been tied, trailing by 1, leading by 1, or leading by 2 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This pass was forced wide from Alex Texier. Texier places one towards the right point. Nobody is there. 4:13 left in this first period as Lane Hudson has Noah Dobson out on the ice with him. New line out there for both teams. It is the top line for Montreal. Slavkovsky's there as Hudson sends this behind the goalkeeper, Lyon. Slavkovsky, Caulfield digs it out towards the right point. Dobson finds Hudson. Hudson sends this wide intentionally. He wanted Slavkovsky to receive it. This bounces out towards the far half boards as Norris falls down. That's the 4th player to fall down in the first period of this game without a hit. Off the near side, it is Nick Suzuki. Suzuki sends one around to Caulfield. Caulfield towards the far half boards. Caulfield, his pass was knocked away, and it'll come back to Montreal ice. 3:25 left in the opening frame. Caden Goulet will receive this puck. Shots are 7-6 Canadiens. Buffalo has the only 2 goals. Fans impatient here. They want some puck movement. They finally get the puck movement. They have not allowed a goal in the first period over the last 4 games, Montreal that is, as we have a stoppage here with 3:11. And with the amount of players that have fallen down here in this first period, it's fair to wonder about the ice conditions here at KeyBank Center. But Canal side is loving life, and so is KeyBank Center. We'll be right back. So I want to get to do something else, Ian. The Paris Saint-Germain will have a chance to defend their Champions League title, going back there for a 2nd straight year. Their opponent is Arsenal.
From what I've been hearing, Arsenal has been in the Premier League. Arsenal was they were a buzzsaw themselves, unless I'm thinking of a different year. But actually, no, they're in the final. they had to have been one of the elite. Maybe even won the Premier League title.
They have a shot at winning the Premier League title this year, and that chance will come Sunday when they take on West Ham United. West Ham United has a chance to not only deny Arsenal the Premier League title, but send Tottenham Hotspur to relegation.
Wait. Send Tottenham Hotspur to relegation.
Yes. It's the Premier League system is that it is divided into 3 leagues. The top 3 teams of the lower 2 leagues get promoted to a higher league, while the bottom 3 teams of the top 2 leagues get relegated at the end of the season.
Wow.
So we're back here for the final 3 minutes of this first period. So it'll be Arsenal and PSG. As this is ice, Arsenal and PSG will fight for the Champions League title. I will note this game that I'm calling here between Buffalo and Montreal. This will be my last game I'm calling before. Another trip to Italy. To announce that. This will go from the 8th to the 25th. But my plan is to cover a Stanley Cup playoff game, my first game back. The second broadcast back will be the Champions League final. It'll be my 4th straight year calling the UEFA Champions League final. Here is Tage Thompson surveying the left side. He'll give and go for Byram. Tries a long shot. Dobish saw it. Byram gives it back to Krebs. And it'll be Krebs. He'll survey at the near corner. He is tied up. Wants the free space up for Byram and does at the right circle. Byram swings back for Krebs. Forced wide by Newhook. Krebs goes to Byram again. Byram loads up. Fires it. Blocked in front. Demidov trying to clear. Ivan Demidov brings this out. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Habs. Jake Evans and Alex Newhook. Evans! Oh, that went off the post! Alex Newhook will pick it up for Montreal. The penalty is coming up. 6-on-5 are the Habs. At the right circle is Carrier. Alex Carrier. Extra attacker is out for Montreal. Drop pass off on the backhand to Carrier. Suzuki is on the ice. Lane Hudson. Give and go for Slavkovsky. The drop pass, and as Buffalo clears this out, Montreal will have a power play here for 2 minutes with 2 seconds separating power play and game clock. Interference is the penalty against the Sabres. Peyton Krebs hit Ivan Demidov behind the play. That shot went through the arm of Lyon and off the outside of the left post. Montreal will have a great chance at getting on the board here and cutting the deficit to within 1. And when we get to the intermission, I do want to get into deeper discussions on footy. Because, oh my goodness, the drama is just unfolding at Real Madrid. Face-off is won by Buffalo. Matthias Samuelsson can quiz is kept in by Demidov. Far corner, Slavkovsky fed it behind and then for Suzuki. Caulfield goes back for Hudson at the point. Demidov fires this one deflected. And that's stopped by Lyon. Caulfield finds Suzuki. Left point for Hudson. Long stretch pass to Demidov. He's it back for Hudson. The shot was wide the net. Caulfield can't pick up the rebound. The Sabres clear and get this one out. Dobish will play this one for Hudson. Lane Hudson will slowly make his way up. Dobish, an Ohio State man. Hudson is a Boston University man. Demidov will feed it back for Suzuki. Demidov drops it off towards the high slot. Fires this one. Blocked in front. Caulfield, the Wisconsin man, gets blown up from the near half boards by Jordan Greenway. And it's cleared out the center by Buffalo. Hudson flips this one ahead. It is Suzuki. Suzuki drops this one back for Demidov. Lane Hudson on a nice pass. Nice block right in front. Can't get a number on that, but he's going to get some pat to the back for that block. Beck Mallenstein, that is. Cole Caulfield has it. Caulfield Mallenstein on him. Demidov goes to Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky closes in. Suzuki scores! Slavkovsky to Suzuki! And the power play strikes for Montreal! The Canadiens fans who are at the watch party at the Casino de Montreal are celebrating this power play goal from Les Habitants. Patience by Slavkovsky. And it's a slam dunk for Suzuki. Never mind a layup as he slid this past the outstretched stick of Owen Power. Owen Power, all 6 foot 6 of him, the towering defenseman, as Buffalo places out the far half boards. They clear this out for center. This is going to be ice, but the Sabres don't really care that much. They're just wanting to put this goal behind them. Montreal's opening goal this series comes on a power play goal from Nick Suzuki, assisted by Yuri Slavkovsky and Ivan Demidov. 33.8 remains here in the opening period. And it's the second goal this postseason for Suzuki after he deflected a Caden Gooley shot off of J.J. Moser and past Andrei Vasilevsky in Game 7 of the Tampa series just 3 nights ago. Buffalo wins this face-off. It is Samuelsson. Places out towards the far half boards. Played out to Zach Benson, one-on-one as he gets a partial break. He has a trailer option with him. Loses the puck, and Dobish backhands this one to the near half boards. 20 seconds left as Benson gets tied up. Texier gives it away, but in the way was Caden Gooley. Texier, second attempt, gets knocked over. Dobson, kept in by Doan. Here is Norris. The two Joshes trying to connect with one another. 5 seconds left. Kept inside by Connor Timmins at the near half boards. This is played out to center. And the first period ends. Montreal has 10 shots. Buffalo has 6. Nonetheless, the Sabres lead 2-1 here after 20 minutes. Josh Doan and Ryan McLeod for Buffalo. Nick Suzuki for Montreal. And we're at the first intermission report. Alec Nava, Ian Genji with you on the play-by-play and color. So, things are getting spicy at Real Madrid, as is mentioned. There is some tension going on at the locker room. They have embraced Vinicius Jr. as their leader, which Vinicius Jr. is one of their more talented players in their own right. But things at Real have been a disaster and a half. A fight earlier today has broken out between Aurelien Tchouameni. And remember that Real Madrid, they won the Champions League just 2 years ago. Now they're dealing with this disaster right after Kylian Mbappe came over to the club. But there was a fight out there main club by Tchouameni and Valverde and Federico Valverde. A fight between these two. Valverde is the vice captain. Tchouameni, part of France national team. A dozen players are now refusing to speak to head coach Alvaro Arbeloa. They're refusing to speak to them, and many players are no longer speaking to each other in the locker room. Antonio Rudiger slapped Alvaro Carreras across the face in the locker room, and Real Madrid fans are so sick and tired of Kylian Mbappe being on the team that they have made a petition to get Mbappe off of Real Madrid. This is a disaster, Ian. Just nothing's going right for them at all. And their winning streak came without Mbappe. They've been losing games with Mbappe in the lineup. Oh, just to say, Anne Bedan, and welcome aboard. So, yes, Mbappe is ruining the chemistry at Real Madrid. I have to say myself, to answer the question if I'm a Sabres fan or I'm a hockey fan, I am a hockey fan. My favorite teams, however, are the Penguins My second team is the Hurricanes, though I'd say the Sabres are a likable bunch. They've suffered for a long time. They haven't seen playoffs for 15 years, and the fact that they're here, you have to feel happy for this group.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, any team that when it happens in the next blue moon, outside of the AFC East, we'll all more or less breathe a sigh of relief when the Jets finally make it back.
Oh, they'll get there eventually. It's just not going to be this year.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But what if they do?
That would be hilarious. The internet would break, Ian.
Yes.
That. Oh my goodness. Just. Everybody would lose their minds at the sight of the New York Jets making the. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh, and I have to see what happens over the next few days with Real Madrid in the wake of this disaster. It was right after Carlo Ancelotti took the job as the lead manager for the Brazilian national team. He is their manager. He's the head coach of the Brazil national team. He'll be coaching them for the FIFA World Cup, which is almost 1 month away. So last night saw the Oklahoma City Thunder clamp down the Los Angeles Lakers for a final score of 108-90. And leading the way was Chet Holmgren with 24 points, 12 rebounds, 9th in defensive, and 3 blocks. What a win for OKC in the series opener. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 18 points on 8 of 15, shooting-wise. 6 assists. It wasn't the best game for him. He had 7 turnovers. But the others filled in for in his disappointing outing. Jared McCain with 12 points off the bench in 15 minutes played. All 12 of his points came on 3-pointers. What a sneaky addition for OKC to add with Jared McCain being their top 3-point shooter off the bench.
That's the most important part for a playoff, for a championship contending team. If your bench is scoring in bunches, you're winning.
And OKC has the deepest bench in the NBA. As is Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, McCain, Aaron Wiggins, Alex Caruso, and Jalen Williams with a Y. And it's crazy because Jalen Williams, without the Y, has been injured throughout this time frame. Though, I have to say, all the best to Jared Vanderbilt in his recovery. Because that dislocated pinky finger, with the way the OKC bench reacted, you can only wonder how gruesome that is. Oh my goodness. They couldn't even look. I have to say, yes, and PSG, they reached back-to-back Champions League finals ever since Mbappe left. That's a crazy fact. Addition by subtraction. They're thriving thanks to Ousmane Dembele, Desiree Douay and Kavica Kvaratskhelia. Not to mention the goaltending of Gianluigi Donnarumma. To look more into this Champions League final, it'll be held in Budapest this year. Last year, it was held in Munich, in which PSG blew the gates right off of Inter Milan, 5-0, the final score. I know you joined me at the second half of that game, but that was a beatdown by PSG. A lot of goals going. It was Achraf Hakimi, Desiree Douay twice, Kavica Kvaratskhelia, and Sini Mayulu. And Kavica Kvaratskhelia. Istvan Kovacs was the lead referee that game at Alliance Arena. And this year, PSG has a chance to defend their title. And Luis Enrique has been amazing as their head coach. Arsenal managed by Arne Slot. No, that's Mikel Arteta. It's Mikel Arteta. I was confusing with Liverpool, excuse me. So Arne Slot is the head coach of Liverpool. Mikel Arteta is the head coach of Arsenal. So as we get deeper into the month, we'll have more information about this year's UEFA Champions League final. So that's out the way. Looking at the baseball side of things, the game for the Pirates isn't until 9:40, but the Pirates just got blown up by the Diamondbacks yesterday on an absolute beating. The Mariners just won 3-1 over the Braves at T-Mobile Park. It's Julio Rodriguez and Cole Young who got the job done for Seattle. Brian Wu went 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. Jose Ferrer with the save, the second of the season for Ferrer. The Dodgers put belt on the Astros. And bad goes to worse for the Astros as Carlos Correa is out for the season. Their lead third baseman.
Yep. Yeah, Astros. You might want to start. You might start making some phone calls to whoever the general manager of the Astros is, because things are not going to get better.
It's a season-ending ankle surgery, and he's had it tough. Correa, that is, because one off season, he had a near drowning experience with his son last summer. It's been a tough year for him. And Tatsuya Imai hasn't been looking good so far to begin the season. It's another blow to an Astros team dealing with a lot of injuries this season. An oblique injury to Yainer Diaz, landing the catcher on the injured list on Tuesday. Jeremy Pena is close to a return and could begin a rehab assignment soon. And Houston had Isaac Paredes playing third base, Braden Shoemake at shortstop in the 12-2 loss to the Dodgers. And he signed a 6-year, $200 million deal with the Twins before 2023. After the Twins signed off on his medicals despite concerns of 2014 surgery on his lower right leg. Flagged physicals kept him from reaching long-term agreements with the Giants and the Mets in free agency. Whew. And it looked like, for the moment, that with the Carlos Correa injury concerns, yes, the Mets are not doing well. and neither are the Giants, but alternate history may be something.
No.
Uh-oh. I think you're cutting out. Try again. Oh, there's a horse here at the NHL and TNT studio. Oh, try again here, Ian. What were you saying? Oh boy. So, game two between Vegas and Anaheim. Vegas and Anaheim. Game 2 is later tonight. We're at game 1, Buffalo, Montreal. All right. How's your connection, Ian?
Hopefully it's better.
All right, I can hear you properly. So what were you trying to say?
I was saying that maybe the Twins blowing up their roster last season wasn't such a bad idea in hindsight.
I have to say, not a bad idea either. Because this year, the Twins, they're a surprising 16-20. I mean, they're in their first year under Derek Shelton. I'm like, how? First year under Derek Shelton. How are they 16-20? It's a strange world of baseball. Oh, that may be the only explanation for such. Let's see what is going on next. I'm just looking around through the MLS standings and I'm just trying to let me look this up. Yeah, because I heard something about the Vancouver Whitecaps. There are MLS supporters who have been united behind the Whitecaps, who have been facing relocation, who are under threat of relocation. There's a Las Vegas group that has been making a bid to relocate the Whitecaps. Grant Gustafson, mom is a billionaire. His billionaire Tamara Gustafson is leading an investor group, making a formal offer to acquire the Whitecaps and relocate them to Las Vegas. Gustafson is a Las Vegas resident, and the offer, which would need to be accepted by the Whitecaps owners and approved by the MLS Board of Governors, includes a plan to build a stadium in that city. The team will play at a temporary venue until the stadium project is completed. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the connection, but is it working better? Try again. Speak.
Well, this may be a recurring thing all night, Alex.
Oh, perhaps. I don't know. We don't know just yet, but let's see what happens later down, though.
Elon, sell the team.
Should have never bought the app in the first place.
Yeah. Oy.
It's just like Dolan. Sell the team.
Sell the team already, Dolan.
Yep. With the Knicks and the Rangers. Oh man. the kids are also throwing punches outdoors before in the pregame festivities. They got to beat up on some of the Bruins and statues. They were set up outdoors, and they now are beating up on the Canadian statues set up outdoors. So, power play goals have been the story here for 2 of the 3 goals of this game. Ryan McLeod and Nick Suzuki, the goal scorers. A cycle play in which all 5 players on Montreal got going. It's a trapezoid formation that quickly collapsed down, with Cole Caulfield driving down deep for Ivan Demidov. A no-look pass behind for Yuri Slafkovsky, who throws an alley-oop to Nick Suzuki for a slam dunk. Second period is underway. Sabres in the blue, Canadiens in the white. Alec Nava, Ian Genji here with you on play-by-play and color. Sabres lead 2-1. The only 5-on-5 goal came from Josh Doan, assisted by Zach Benson. Up the far side and now moving towards the middle are the Sabres as Benson goes back for Norris. Deflection! Stopped by Dobesh as this puck comes towards the slot. Held inside by Buffalo, just barely by Dahlin. Goes rink wide. That pass was blocked, and the Habs get this out. To the puck is Doan. He'll retrieve the puck. He was acquired the other way in the trade that sent J.J. Peterka to the Utah Mammoth. Doan and Michael Kesselring came to Buffalo. Doan has a goal and assist tonight, and Buffalo's 13-0 when Doan records multiple points in a game, including playoffs. Peyton Krebs places one around past Thompson, held inside by Power, mishandled by Tuck, and this will be driven out to center ice by Montreal. We're looking for the tying goal. Bowen Byram clears this one out just barely. The Canadiens will start up from their own zone. Up the far side, here are the Habs. Noah Dobson now near side. Dobson goes rink wide on his pass to Slafkovsky, who sends it in deep. Lyon places out. Byram. Caulfield tried to take it away. Here come the Sabres. Alex Tuck near side. Slices one across, and then the pass back to the right circle. Here's Thompson. Unloads it. Stopped by Dobesh. Dobson and Tuck were battling for this loose puck as this is poked out for Caulfield. Peyton Krebs will restart. He was part of the trade in which Tuck and Krebs were acquired along with first-round pick for Jack Eichel. McLeod trying to find Quinn. This gets poked away. Quinn sends this back. Alex Lyon will cover up with Jake Evans rushing to this puck. A minute 57 into this second period. The Blue Liners have been active for the Buffalo Sabres tonight, and that last play was no different with Owen Power unloading one. Let's go Buffalo chants here at KeyBank Center as Thompson takes a breather at the Sabres bench. It'll be Evans on the draw against McLeod, who won it. Stanley goes back for Timmins, and Jack Quinn sends this towards the outside. Jack Eye on the pickup for Montreal, sent in deep. Connor Timmins will go rink wide for Logan Stanley as this gets deflected up off a stick, not far enough for icing. Caden Gooley being rushed off this puck, and this gets flipped over to the far corner for Jack Eye. Jack Eye sends this down the distance. This one will get iced. Deep in the Buffalo zone, the faceoff will come back to Jakub Dobish's side. I think the left side. And in the first period, Lane Hudson was sandwiched by Logan Stanley. He's taken a beating all throughout. It's a shin pad in which he got a level by from Logan Stanley, a towering presence. He's having a career year split between Winnipeg and Buffalo. Buffalo pivoted to him and Luke Schenn at the trade deadline after he couldn't acquire Colton Parayko. This is played out by Montreal. Ivan Demidov gets canceled out by Josh Doan. With speed is Zach Benson as Josh Norris a trailer within. Benson to the net! Gets leveled away from the puck. Miscommunication between him and Josh Norris have kept this a 2-1 game. Far side as Montreal resets. Up the middle. The Habs will go with numbers here. Joe Veleno centers back up for Zach Beaulieu. Kirby Dach on the puck. Dach goes around the net. Veleno sends this back. And at the right point is held in by Veleno. Veleno saucers this one rink wide for Mike Matheson. Backing around for Dach. Dach gets canceled out by Benson as Josh Norris sends this out to Montreal's end. Veleno back for Matheson as Doan is watching. Up the far side, this pass gets knocked away off a stick. And the Sabres will go back with this puck. Jordan Greenway. Greenway tries one. Score! Top shelf! Jordan Greenway! 3-1!
Well, that didn't take long.
No, it didn't. Took just 3 minutes and 32 seconds off the frame. And Kickstart My Heart is ringing loud and proud here at the 716. Jordan Greenway fires one right off the glove of Jakub Dobeš. And that's one Dobeš would love to have back. That's just a soft shot that just squeaks by. The screen by Alex Carey doesn't help. But it hits Dobeš's glove. Wasn't able to locate it. Tie up off the draw. And here's Greenway back with this. Greenway trying to double down as Mallenstein shoves his man off. Mallenstein falls down off a check. 3-on-3 as Montreal goes back with this. Here's Josh Anderson. Offside the call. We get a whistle here at the 16-12 mark. Dobeš had several great saves against the Lightning, but a partial screen by Matheson doesn't help Dobeš's case, and the puck hits his glove. Faceoff comes outside the Buffalo end, and is won by Montreal. Ben serenading Dobeš, trying to get into his head as Logan Stanley sends this one up ahead. Race for this puck will be won by Lane Hudson, and it's an icing. So see what happens later down. And tomorrow, the series between Carolina and Philadelphia shifts to the city of brotherly love. 8 Eastern game time between the Hurricanes and the Flyers. Hurricanes trying to improve to 7-0 this postseason. And Freddie Anderson already has 2 shutouts after having a nightmare regular season. Quick shot, rebound. Lion stands tall. Roar. Luis Enrique did substitute Ballon d'Or holder Ousmane Dembele in the 66th minute. There wasn't a complaint. And that was what trust in the manager looks like. Everyone is playing for him at PSG. A united team with a team-first mentality. Him, Doué, Kvaratskhelia, everybody on that PSG quick attack. Greenway from Matthias Samuelsson. Long shot was wide. Here's Slafkovsky keeping this one alive for Montreal. He is pinned at the near quarter. Puck comes out towards the right point. Played out by Buffalo. Here's Josh Doan who slows up. Wants to find Josh Norris in front. Shot gets blocked. Doan gets it back. Finding Norris from the far corner. Going back towards the right point as Byram cycles his one down deep. Dobson ties up Benson. Benson places out far half boards. Caulfield tangled up. It's kept alive. Doan gets stick with it by Dobson. Norris pinches onto the puck. Norris on the keeper. Norris survives 2 checks. Norris forced out. Keeps his one alive as Benson gets hauled down. We say 5-on-5. As it is Dobson who sends his one ahead near side. Slafkovsky up ahead. As this gets sent to the Buffalo zone. Rasmus Dahlin up ahead for Peyton Krebs and Alex Tuch. Tuch feeds behind for Thompson. Back for Tuch. He missed the pass. Montreal trying to play this one out. They will. They can't send this one ahead as Lane Hudson will send this back for Noah Dobson. Sent in by Jake Evans on the deflection. Tied up was Alex Newhook. Out towards the near half boards, Krebs. With speed down the near side. Sending this in deep. Mike Matheson is the first one to the puck. Thompson bumped him off the puck. At the near corner, it is Newhook. He'll restart the play. Newhook goes up the middle. Down the near side by the penalty box doors. And this puck winds up out of play off a deflection. 14:18 left. Here in the second period. The Sabres lead 3-1 in Game 1 of this Eastern Conference Semifinals series. So almost 6 minutes gone here in the second period. This faceoff is outside the Montreal zone. Ryan McLeod, now Jason Zucker against Philip Deneau. He's been excellent in faceoffs. And he wins another one. Controlled by Jacky, he'll go across for Woolley. Woolley sends it to Texier, who was intercepted on the way back by Jack Quinn. High rising shot pass. One of the Buffalo fans tried to catch it, but it stayed in play. Jason Zucker, the first back. Logan Stanley. And this puck came out of the zone. So it's going to be offside. I thought it was kept in the zone. But no. 6:02 gone in the second period. And Jordan Greenway restores a 2-goal lead for the Buffalo Sabres. It is 3-1 here at KeyBank. I'm Alec Nava. He's Ian Genji. We'll be right back. Just to remember, PSG, before Mbappe left, there was drama in the club every week, inside and outside the locker room, and it went away after he left. And the drama started at Real Madrid ever since. It's not a coincidence anymore. So we see. Whew. At this point, we also need to wonder about the Astros trading staff with the Carlos Correa injury. Because there's just too many injuries in Houston. Too many to count. And the Vancouver Whitecaps, the stadium economics are the primary talking point. BC Place is owned by Provincial Crown Corporation. Recently signing a new lease to Place games at BC Place have improved economic terms, including a return of $1 million to $1.5 million in revenue that Pavco makes for renting the venue to the Whitecaps. But Whitecaps CEO Axel Schuster said the improved terms aren't enough to make the team economically viable. More on this later, as we're getting back into action here in the second period. The nerves are all gone here in Buffalo. They're thriving here up and about. A team-first mentality here with the Sabres. The poise and the experience paying off dividends. Noah Dobson retrieves off this faceoff from his own end. Connor Timmins kept this in briefly as Deneau goes to Dobson. Noah Dobson. This is sent in deep off a deflection past the red line, no icing. Jason Zucker can't get this out as Montreal places in deep. Texier. Gonna keep it, and here are the Sabres here. Possible 2-on-1 coming here. McLeod to Quinn! Off the post! Oh man, he came so close to making this 4-1. Jack Quinn behind the net. Backhands this one back towards the point as Logan Stanley. He'll look, flips one off a body, and this will come towards the far half boards. Tyson Kozak kept us alive as Jack Quinn. Penalty is coming up against Montreal as a loose stick is on the ice. Quinn on his own walks through center ice. Jack Quinn keeps a hold of it, backtracks. Quinn waits, fires, save Dobish. I'm not sure if he saw that, but the puck is still alive. As it's touched up by Carrier, a cross-checking penalty is coming against the Canadiens. It'll go against Caden Woolley. It is a cross-checking penalty on the face-off dot. A quick play up the middle for Ryan McLeod and Jack Quinn, and his shot hit the crossbar. Usually that results in a goal, but that went off the crossbar and it stayed out. Woolley's going to sit for 2 minutes. He's one of Montreal's better penalty killers. Buffalo will go with Tuch, Zucker, Norris, Thompson, and Dahlin on his top power play unit. Tuch has 7 power play goals. Dahlin has 6, same as Thompson. From the near corner, Tuch gets it free. Alex Tuch races to it. Buffalo can't hold it. Down the ice it goes as Alex Lyon will leave this behind. Norris doesn't touch up. It'll be Dahlin with this. Buffalo's power play is 1-for-2 tonight with 3 shots. Fed up the far side. Here comes Rasmus Dahlin alone! No goal! He came so close as well to making it 4-1. And Dahlin's pass hit a skate. That was a good read to attack as Dahlin flips it ahead. Far half boards. Dahlin is pinned. Montreal trying to clear. Jake Evans does. And Lyon will play this up ahead. Oh boy. Jason Zucker, who's been excellent here for Buffalo during the regular season, has found his home. His pass to Byram was intercepted. And this looks like a... No. It seemed like one of the Montreal players got tripped. But it wasn't a trip. He wasn't touched on a stick on a skate. Zach Benson feeds behind over to Bowen Byram. Byram surveys back over to Benson. Benson steps into it, onto the left circle. Benson defers over to Quinn. Quinn to Benson. Benson forced behind the net. Gets stick lifted. Buffalo combining on those stick lifts as a response on Carrier, and they take it back onto the far corner. Several Sabres play catch. 23 seconds left on this man advantage. A quick shot. Loose in front. Dobish has it. Right in front was Benson on the net front. With 20 seconds left on this power play. A lot of credit to Jakub Dobish for tracking those pucks that came from distance. Bowen Byram being one of them, and Zach Benson. But earlier, Rasmus Dahlin hit the goalpost. The outside the goalpost. So that's 2 goalposts that the Sabres have hit for the last few minutes. McLeod and Danault on this draw. The linesmen are repairing the ice on this moment. 18 seconds left as Montreal wins the faceoff, but they can't get it out. Here's Bowen Byram on the hold. Byram straight away score! Buffalo's power play has doubled down already. 4-1. Bowen Byram.
Well, no time like the present.
Oh, you speak of it. They scored just 1 power play goal in the entire Boston series. In 1 game against Montreal, they have 2 power play goals. Bowen Byram fires it straight away, and Josh Dohm provides a screen in front. That takes away Dobish's eyes, and he couldn't track this puck. What a game that Josh Dohm has been having here. The most goals by defenseman in a single playoff year in franchise history. Bowen Byram has tied the record that Mike Ramsey set in 1983. It was tied in 1999 by Jason Woolley and Alexei Zhitnik. Byram has 4 goals this postseason. That tied the franchise record. And it's just the second round, early in it. It's the Sabres' 7th game of this postseason. And we have a penalty here. high sticking against the Buffalo Sabres. Beck Malenstein is going to the box. So Montreal is going to get 2 minutes of power play time. I have to see where the penalty was as Malenstein. We'll have to see where the high stick was. But Jason Woolley and Alexei Zhitnik, they were tremendous in that 1999 finals run for the Buffalo Sabres. As was Curtis Brown, Michael Pekka, and most importantly, Dominik Hasek. Buffalo trying to clear this one out. They won't get it down the ice after a fourth attempt. Ivan Demidov will restart for the Habs. They scored on their first power play. Cole Caulfield will drop back for Nick Suzuki. Accelerates with speed. Suzuki. Aaron pass for Caulfield, but the Habs keep it alive. Slavkovsky tried to slide it on the backhand. Slavkovsky intercepted on the pass, and the Sabres will take their time with this. They send this out to Montreal's end, and Slavkovsky will feed this behind for Demidov. Demidov drops for Caulfield. Caulfield across. Going to Suzuki. Suzuki back for Hudson. Lane Hudson. Back towards the far corner. It is Cole Caulfield back deep at the point. He and Hudson trade places. Hudson back for Caulfield, Suzuki. Suzuki shot well wide. Kept alive by Montreal as it is Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky cycling around the zone. Slavkovsky goes to Caulfield. Back for Hudson at the point. Caulfield left circle. Caulfield hot pass over to Suzuki. Timmins goes down. This puck goes away from Hudson. He'll pick it back up with 48. Back over to Caulfield. Suzuki one more time. Suzuki surveying. Left circle. Suzuki back for Hudson. Hudson holds at the point. That shot hit a stick. And Timmins' clearing attempt couldn't go. Suzuki kept this one alive. Demidov. Slavkovsky goes to Demidov. Near corner. Demidov goes back for Hudson. Hudson holds. Suzuki fakes it. Now goes to Hudson. Demidov fakes a one-timer. In front. Slavkovsky deflected it. That went off as Lion. 15 seconds left on this power play. As Suzuki places out for Hudson. 10 seconds left. Hudson. Suzuki. Demidov. Blast! And that went off of Lion. That went out of play. Great zone time by the Canadiens on this power play. They were all set in position, but the penalty killers have done the job here for Buffalo's Lane Hudson. They have a beautiful passing play to Demidov. Fires a one-time blast. Lion fought this one away. Face off to Lion's right. Won by the Sabres. They can kill off the rest of this penalty and they'll send it down to the ice. Malenstein's out the box. The penalty has been killed. Noah Dobbs will start up for the Canadiens. Zach Bolduc sends this in deep. Up at the far half boards, it is Power. Towards the corner. One-timer is blocked. Low to the slide is picked up by Buffalo. And they'll send this out to Montreal's end. Moving up the near side. Alex Newhook. The Dobish chants. The mocking chants are coming back here. Bolduc throws the body at the far corner. Game 1 Eastern Conference Semifinal. Buffalo leads 4-1 this game. Josh Norris turns back. Knocked off the puck. Here's Dahlin with this. Dahlin fires this. And Dobish holds it. 8:07 left in this second period. And Dobish allowed 4 goals here. In this game, that's the same amount of goals he's allowed in the final 3 games against Tampa Bay. We'll be right back. So, last December, the Vancouver Whitecaps and the City of Vancouver, they signed a memorandum of understanding on the potential development of a new stadium and entertainment district in Hastings Park. But at the time of the announcement, Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim said the process would take 4+ years, which apparently isn't quick enough for the MLS. MLS Commissioner Don Garber met with British Columbia Premier David Eby to discuss ways where the Whitecaps could remain in Vancouver, and Eby told CBC the talks were constructive. The province offered financial concessions tied to BC Place. They ruled out buying the team. Following this meeting with Garber, Ebby told reporters that the province will not transfer control of the provincially owned venue to the Whitecaps to stabilize the club's finances, adding that the team has shown no interest in that option. The team's fans have started a Save the Caps movement. Banners and signs contain the slogan appearing at last weekend's match against the Colorado Rapids. Outside of FIFA's Congress in Vancouver, about 100 Whitecaps supporters held a rally protesting the possible relocation. Everyone's concerned, and Vancouver's been working on this for over a year. You can't control what other groups that have an interest in the team do. Sims said alongside Garber inside the Congress, stressing that MLS Commissioner remains support of the team staying in the city. So that's the latest in the Vancouver Whitecaps relocation report, relocation and rumors. And this Buffalo power play, they were 1 for their last 46 entering tonight. They're 2 for 3 tonight. They turned a quarter here. They missed their last 39 power play chances before scoring their first power play goal of the playoffs in Game 5 against the Bruins. Face off to the right of Dobish. Krebs loses this, and Montreal down 4-1. 3-goal comebacks have been rare in the postseason, but some of the most famous cases have been San Jose Vegas Game 7 2019, Boston Toronto Game 7 2013, Toronto Tampa Bay Game 4 2023, Edmonton LA Game 4 2023. Montreal hopes to join that list of teams coming back from down 3 goals to win. And all those comeback victories ended in overtime. Dumped into the near corner by Slavkovsky, who places free. Dali intercepts. Dali wanting to play this out. The overtime heroes of those games were Patrice Bergeron, Barclay Goodrow, Alex Kerfoot, and Zach Hyman. As this gets cleared out, all the way to Montreal said icing called with 7:05. Thought there was a scuffle, but no punching and shoving. 7:05 left. And the Sabres made the decision not to wear the goat head jerseys entering the postseason. Some fans wanted to see the goat head make a return for the playoffs. Let's go Buffalo chants here at KeyBank Center. Face-off won by the Canadiens. They're wanting to start the comeback here. A quick shot fought off by Lyon. From the left point, this comes back out as the Sabres wanting to clear. They will. Josh Stone sends this out. Tage Thompson fresh from the bench. Buffalo's won 13 face-offs, Montreal 20. Bowen Byram sends this one around. Over to Ryan McLeod. Wanting to expand on this lead. McLeod pinned in deep by Demidov. Played out by Newhook. McLeod fighting for this loose puck. Several sick whacks at it. And Buffalo keeps this one alive. Jason Zucker fires a turnaround shot that didn't make its way to the net. It was blocked. Owen Power through the right circle. Drops out for Zucker. Zucker, a lot of open space. Fires. Blocked. And he'll get his own rebound back. On his backhand, now forehand along the far half boards. He'll hand off for Jack Quinn. Quinn lets one go. Loose in front. Dobish to save. Back for Quinn as he skates around the net. Jack Quinn across the ice. Ryan McLeod to Quinn again. Rebound. Swept wide as Zucker will play this one on his backhand. Here's Quinn one more time as he dances around one of the halves. Rink wide this goes. Buffalo has a lot of sustained zone time here. And this puck just crossed the blue line. The Sabres will have to restart. Montreal will get fresh faces on the ice. Owen Power knocked away by Ivan Demidov. Buffalo quickly recovers. Tyson Kozak on the reception. Dumped this in deep. Retrieved by Beck Mallenstein. Handoff for Jordan Greenway. On the hold. In front. And Dahlin. Rebounded loose in front. On the backhand. Dahlin. Dobish down. He gets back up. Josh Anderson with a chance to clear. And he does. Dobish at the outstretched left pad. Oh my goodness. Dobich was under siege. 5 minutes left in the period. Buffalo leads 4-1. Kozak dumped it in deep. The Canadiens going on a change as Dobich plays this out. Dobich hasn't had the greatest effort in this game. One can imagine a stronger Dobich into game 2. Josh Anderson dumps this onto the far corner. Lyon plays this out. Doan kept this one for Buffalo. Bowen Byram slowing things down for the Sabres. And the fans are appreciating the intensity and the effort that Buffalo is putting on here in this game 1. Byram slows down the pace. Down to the near side, Benson trying to send this in deep. Backhanded by Norris, but grabbed by Montreal. Carrier over towards the far side. Up the middle, it is Joe Veleno. Glove save, Lyon. No screen, the crowd waving their towels in support of their goaltender. 4:09 left, and the extracurriculars arrive. Veleno and Norris tangled up with one another. Scott Cherry, the linesman, jumps in to separate Norris and Veleno. And Kirby Dach and Logan Stanley have wars with one another. Pierre Lambert jumps in to separate the both. And Dirk is heading off onto the Montreal bench. It's a 4-1 lead for the Sabres. Jakub Dobich had his left pad all the way across to prevent this from being 5-1. We'll be right back. Oh, man. Sometimes you just gotta stretch. Oh. Well. How to say, if I was Mbappe, I'm leaving at the end of the season. Real Madrid. I mean, you know how much this means for 18 million people to sign a petition for him to leave Real Madrid. Just, I mean, 18 million people. Can't believe that. Oh, and the official salary cap for next season will be $104 million. The floor will be $76.9 million. The San Jose Sharks will need to spend $14.5 million just to hit the cap floor.
I don't think their fans will object to that, especially if they can land themselves a juicy free agent that's on the market, whoever that may be.
One player that we've watched throughout this game is Jordan Greenway. He's thrown the body around. He scored, and he's laid on the boom for the Buffalo Sabres throughout this game. It's been a good start to the series for Buffalo as Montreal wins this faceoff. Along the far half boards, this gets sent in front. Lyon shuts off another chance. He'll hang on to this one. And Jordan Greenway in this game has 3 hits. Peyton Krebs with 4, Beck Mallenstein with 3. In total, the hits are 20-17 in favor of the Canadiens. I don't think anyone's going to object to the physicality here in this playoff game. Another face-off win by the Canadiens, but they need to get some chances. Face-off is outside the zone now. Or rather, the puck comes out the zone. We're in the final less than 4 minutes here in the second period. Montreal needs to get something and fast. 5-on-5. It's where they haven't really been thriving that much. Along the far quarter is Bolduc. Take a ride along the wall. Bolduc trying to play this one out. And the Sabres will skate this to center. They get tied up. The Canadiens come back with this. Here's Kirby Dach. Dach tried to feed across, and they score! Oh, what an effort! Kirby Dach, as he was falling down onto his knees on all fours. It is now a 4-2 hockey game. Ho, ho, ho! Off the turnover, Tage Thompson gets pickpocketed at center ice, and off a 2-on-1, Connor Timmins did everything right. And Dach scores one of the best goals that you'll ever see in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Gets the rebound, bats it up in the air as he was falling. What a goal! 4-2 is the game now. Dach off the takeaway, and that's one. Montreal needs two more. Kirby's brother Colton was involved in a Jason Dickinson trade that sent him to the Edmonton Oilers. Colton's under contract for another year with Edmonton, and he's been a physical presence on that fourth line with Josh Szymanski and Trent Frederick. Nick Suzuki. Mike Matheson can't get this one through as Jason Zucker wanted to set up Matthias Samuelsson. You have to look for other options. Samuelsson has stick broken. He thinks that there should have been a penalty called against Montreal. He does not get his wish. Yuri Slafkovsky re-enters with the puck. Parks to the right point, waits for help. He fires across. And this is Alex Newhook playing this one through behind the net. Slafkovsky remains on the ice. Played over to center ice. The Jack Guy, Dach from Bolduc officially. Up the far half, Boris sent in deep as Lyon comes out to play this puck. Zach Benson gets shoved, but doesn't get ridden off the puck. Along the wall, Doan, in pursuit is Woolley, first to the puck. To beat Josh Doan to it, but Doan takes it away along the far quarter. Tried the shot from a sharp angle, didn't make his way through. Alex Texier had all that space taken away from it off some good stick lifts by Zach Benson. Bowen Byram. Byram slows up. He'll backhand this deep. First to the puck was Benson. He loses footing. And for the fifth time in this game, somebody fell down. Here's Benson behind the net. Loose in front. And as just kept in, here's Logan Stanley. Fed across. Back door. Mallenstein couldn't get the shot away. Almost a turnover at center ice. Newhook sends this in deep. Alex Lyon will play this out for Bowen Byram. Logan Stanley. Fresh pass over to Jordan Greenway trying for another goal. Gets rid of the puck. Good check by Montreal to shove him away from the puck. And here's Josh Anderson up the far half boards. 2-on-2 come the Canadiens. Philip Deneau drives the net. Hit the side of the cage. Couldn't get the puck back. It's Owen Powers all over him. Deneau tried to take it back. The Canadiens keep. Here's Anderson. He's been a playoff warrior for Montreal in the past. From the far corner, sends it back towards the left point. Noah Dobson trades places. This is loose in front off the initial shot that was blocked. Rushing to this puck is Dobson to pick up his own rebound. Dobson goes for Hudson. Lane Hudson waits up, trying to load things up. 40 seconds left. Dobson waits, goes to Hudson. Hudson, wrister blocked. This will come to Jordan Greenway. Can't get this out as Dobson's on the hold at the near corner. This bounces up out of the zone. Hudson gloves it down. He'll take his time with the puck. Texier fires back over to Hudson. Hudson waits in the right circle. Gets back over to Texier. Texier shot fire wide. And this goes to Hudson. Hudson tried to slide across, didn't go all the way. Texier with 11 seconds. Here is Dobson. Dobson heads out for Hudson. Hudson at the high slot. Hudson. One-timer left circle. Anderson fired wide. This gets sent out to center. And the period will come to a close. It is 4-2 Buffalo after 2 periods of play. Jordan Greenway and Bowen Byram score for the Sabres. Kirby Dach for the Canadiens on a highlight reel goal. So after 2, it's 4-2. Ian Genji here. Alec Nava as well here. Calling this. Yep. I butchered that. As we're at the second intermission report. Greenway and Byram for Buffalo. Doc for Montreal. So on to this intermission as we go. Just taking a look at this playoff bracket. I did want to get into something that I was about to touch on yesterday on John's cast, but I did allude to this on a reply that I sent to him on one of his tweets. But to say the least, the Edmonton Oilers wasting the entire 20s of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl is the second worst case of superstar mismanagement in all four major North American professional sports. And the only one that's ahead is the Angels wasting away the years of Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani together. You have two generational superstars on your team, yet the same problems keep adding up because you kept hiring the wrong GM again and again and again. It doesn't end. This madness. From Peter Chiarelli to Ken Holland to Stan Bowman, there's an even bigger problem. Ownership. McDavid and Draisaitl were set up for failure from the very start. It's not excusing McDavid being largely invisible in the series, getting locked up by Jackson Lacombe, which to Lacombe's credit, he's going to be one of the best defensemen in the NHL. But when your franchise player takes a team-friendly deal at $12.5 million per year, you're supposed to help him. If the Darno Nurse contract wasn't bad enough, trading a first-round pick away for one good year of production from Jake Wallman and then lock him up to a 7-year, $7 million per year deal when he's looked like a train wreck this season looks worse, especially since he's 30 years old now. We didn't know what was going to happen with Philip Broberg's development because he was a complete unknown. Didn't play that much with Edmonton, though he did shine in the Western Conference Final and the Stanley Cup Final. Earned him a 2-year, $4.58 million per year deal with St. Louis on an offer sheet. That was a number that the Oilers couldn't match. But the number that the Oilers could have matched was Dylan Holloway's $2.29 million per year. A much more reasonable number to keep him around knowing he was thriving next to Draisaitl. And while true that Vasily Podkolzin has thrived on Draisaitl's line, that doesn't excuse losing Holloway. The team is also stuck up their own self. They decided not to keep Warren Fogle, to trade for the idea of Warren Fogle, not knowing that Trent Frederick is an offensive black hole that fell off the face of the map once Jim Montgomery left Boston. It's worse. Yeah, he's a black hole in the light of it. Well, Matt Savoy should help in the future. The cup window is closed. Look at the all-time great players that took a while to win a Stanley Cup too. They had great goaltenders or elite goaltenders. Steve Yzerman and Al McInnes had Mike Vernon on separate teams. Alex Ovechkin and Braden Holtby. Nikita Kucherov and Steven Stamkos had Andrei Vasilevsky. Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, and Ray Borg had Patrick Waugh. Teemu Solani had John Sebastian Shiger. And it takes great goaltending to help your team go deep in the playoffs. What did Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl have? 3 goaltenders who were placed on waivers, including Tristan Jarry, who was placed on waivers last year. The 2 others were Calvin Pickard and Jack Campbell, who's no longer on the team. You got rid of Stuart Skinner, but you didn't get rid of the idea of Stuart Skinner. The Oilers are screwed. There's no other way to put it. They're screwed. And even if Stan Bowman's fired, I don't trust ownership to make the right hire for their GM. It's horrible. Oh. So, I have to say that there was some controversy striking in the PSG game in the second leg on the Champions League semifinal. Dembele with the knockout punch. Arsenal is the first finalist. The second match took us to the Allianz Arena in Munich. Bayern Munich was looking to mount a comeback against defending champion PSG. Ousmane Dembele's goal was enough to the French team to win 6-5 on aggregate, setting up a final against the Gunners. May 30th at Budapest, Hungary. There was a controversial handball in the game between PSG and Bayern Munich earlier today. They already trailed by a goal after last week's first leg in Paris, and Dembele fired PSG further in front inside 3 minutes in the second leg. Before halftime, however, two controversial referee decisions went against Bayern, leaving their manager, players, and supporters angry. The first one saw the ball strike Nuno Mendes' arm, which would have resulted in a second yellow card for the defender. The referee waved play on. Minutes later, the ball struck João Neves' arm in the penalty box, but the referee said no, and the VAR didn't overturn the on-field decision. Two handballs. Oh my good. Bayern is angry at that. So VAR causes controversy every week, whether it be the Premier League, Champions League, or FA Cup. But how are decisions made? Are they correct? Whew.
So, Alec, real quick, I want to circle back to what you were saying about the Oilers. Yeah, you're right. They are headed to a full-blown. They're going to be kicking and screaming toward a rebuild. And you're right. It was their last. When your best goaltender in your two elite players' career is when the best goaltender you ever had was Mike Smith. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you need to do some major self-reflection. And yeah, it's true. Even the one year your Hurricanes won a Stanley Cup, you had Cam Ward, who one of the more underrated goaltenders, but is still one that should still be celebrated.
Yeah.
Because of what he accomplished. He was a beast.
Yeah. Rod Brind'Amour waited 17 years for a cup. Glenn Wesley and Brent Hedican also had to wait for similar lengths to win a cup. They were on that Hurricanes team, winning the Stanley Cup that year. Against an Oilers team that was a Cinderella story, and they used 3 different goaltenders that run. Primarily was Dwayne Roloson and UC Markkanen. A team that was led by Chris Pronger at the time, before he left for Anaheim to join forces with Scott Niedermayer. Let's see what. Oh man. To say the least about the controversy at PSG Bayern Munich. The 29th minute, there was a possible second yellow card for Nuno Mendes for handball offense, denying an attack to Bayern. Referee Pinheiro initially penalized PSG's Mendes for deliberate handball offense that clearly stopped Bayern from having a positive attack into their opponent's half. Potentially a big moment in the game as Mendes, already on a yellow card for tripping Olise in the 5th minute, would expect to receive a second yellow card in this situation and be sent off. But Pinheiro created confusion by awarding a free kick the other way in favor of PSG. Having consulted with assistant referee, the match official penalized Bayern defender Konrad Laimer for a handball offense of his own and the immediate builder to Mendes committing the very same offense. As confusing and controversial as the incident was, it's not an event that falls under the jurisdiction of VAR. They were not able to intervene or review the incident. Expect a refereeing team at this level and on the stage to deliver the outcome far better process than what we saw in the moment. Hard to see if there's a definitive handball by Lamer, but the assistant referee had a very good view with the best angle. Now at the 31st minute, the possible penalty of Bayern for a handball by João Neves. Vitinha attempted to clear the ball as it struck the arm of Neves in close range. Pinheiro immediately waved away the penalty appeals. The laws of the game say that a handball is not penalized if the ball hits the hand or arm of a player after it had been played by a teammate unless the ball goes directly into the opponent's goal, or is a deliberate action to stop the ball going into the team's own goal, in which case a penalty will be awarded. Certain laws often cause confusion, so one that fits the narrative. If they did not award a penalty kick to Bayern, but the most basic form of handball in the penalty area is penalized because it's viewed by a defender using an illegal part of the body, it's gaining an unfair advantage and potentially stopping a positive opportunity for the opponents. When the ball strikes the arm of a defender and is played by a teammate, there is no advantage gaining or stopping of an opponent's ability to have a positive opportunity. The opposite is true. It quite often blocks and attempts a clearance away from the penalty area made by a teammate, creating greater pressure when defending. It makes no sense to penalize this as a handball, but you cannot just handle the ball played by a teammate in any situation. A deliberate action that stops a clear goal-bound shot or definite goal will still be penalized with a penalty and potentially a red card. Equally, you can't score in the opponent's goal with your hand or arm, regardless of who played the ball previously. Well, that was something. So we're going to go the path to the Champions League final for both Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain. This is Arsenal's second Champions League final. They lost their only previous appearance 2-1 to Barcelona. For Paris Saint-Germain, they won in 2020. They lost in 2020, 1-0 to Bayern Munich, and won 5-0 last year against Inter Milan. That 1-0 final score, the only goal came from Kingsley Coman. In the 2006 final, the goals in Barcelona came 4 minutes apart in the second half. Samuel Eto'o and Giuliano Belletti scoring for Barcelona, as Sol Campbell had the only goal for Arsenal. Ronaldinho was the face of Barcelona at the time in 2006. And this was before Lionel Messi was widely known full time in the Champions League final. It was Barcelona who prevailed in 2006. Though Messi, they had doubts about the fitness of Messi going into the final at 2006, pulling a thigh muscle during the second leg of their match with Chelsea. Have not played since, though he was included in a 22-man squad for the final. And Barcelona coach Frank Rijkaard said he would leave it late before deciding where to select him. But despite being included in the squad, Messi did not play in the final. But the other players stepped up in his absence. especially with Belletti and Itul. Victor Valdez was the goalkeeper for Barcelona at that time. Ronaldinho wearing the number 10. And Belletti was a 71st minute substitute. That was the only other appearance for Arsenal at that time. So the Killers were announced as the performer. The Killers will be the performers for the opening ceremony of this year's UEFA Champions League final. They're promoted by a trailer starring frontman Brandon Flowers and football star David Beckham on a short film named The Race Begins. Last year was Linkin Park being the lead band for the opening ceremony. In last year's UEFA Champions League final, David Garrett was announced to play a rearranged version of Seven Nation Army in the trophy presentation before the team's entrance. So, for these two paths, PSG defeated Atalanta, Barcelona, Bayer Leverkusen, Tottenham Hotspur on their way to for the league phase. They lost to Bayern Munich and Sporting CP and tied Athletic Bilbao and Newcastle United in the league phase. Arsenal, on the other hand, defeated Athletic Bilbao, Olympiacos, Atletico Madrid, Slavia Prague, Bayern Munich, Club Brugge, Inter Milan, and Kairat through the league phase. PSG finished 11th. Arsenal was tops. PSG defeated Monaco 5-4 in the first round. Chelsea 8-2 in the second round. 4-0 over Liverpool in the quarterfinals, and 6-5 Bayern Munich in the semifinals. Arsenal got a first round bye. They defeated Bayer Leverkusen 3-1 in aggregate. Sporting CP 1-0, and Atletico Madrid 2-1. Coming closer to start the third period between the Sabres and the Canadiens. The hometown Sabres have controlled play up and down the lineup. But to say, Mike Matheson and the Canadiens defense, they need to step up their game if they were to make this comeback. Very rarely have we seen free goal comebacks, but this was made the case last year when the Oilers erased a 3-0 deficit against the Florida Panthers, winning 5-4 in overtime. Leon Draisaitl was the hero. Here we go for the third period as Nick Suzuki wins the opening faceout for Montreal. 2-1 to begin the period. Cole Caulfield save Lion! Just 9 seconds into the frame, a 2-on-1 off the opening faceoff on a set play. An odd man break as Yuri Slavkovsky got leveled. Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield combined 2-on-1 on this rush. A quick one-timer. Now this time Buffalo wins the faceoff at their own zone. Montreal keeps this play alive. For the far side, Suzuki stopped by line, rebound. Caulfield couldn't get a shot away as he was tied up. Here's Josh Stone. Zach Benson moves in. Benson stops. His pass gets tangled up by Suzuki. And Montreal will restart. Nick Suzuki on his back end, now forehand as he drops this off. We're in the opening minutes of this third period. Buffalo led 4-1. It's now a 4-2 lead. Oh, and look out. That was shot onto the mesh or over the glass from Cole Caulfield. 40 seconds into the third. Imagine if we're going to get a new line. This is going to be an important third period for the Canadiens. They were to make this comeback and complete it. Faceoff's going to be at center ice between Tage Thompson and Jake Evans. Evans wins it, Matheson will play this one for Carrier. It's shoved away as Demidov sent it in deep. Evans played this behind line. Thompson picks it up. Thompson gets stick lifted twice, and he'll keep play alive for Owen Power. Power surveys. Sends it up the far side. Newhook can't hold it. And Montreal will send this one around the boards. Demidov in pursuit. He arrives first ahead of Power. Demidov back towards the point. Carrier shot. Rebound. Picked up by Thompson. As he flips this one to center ice. Bouncing puck is picked up by Alex Carrier. And moving back is Demidov. Up the middle. Demidov tried to go inside out on Connor Timmins. Timmins did not let him any space. Played out to center ice. Carrier waits for this puck. The Zach Boduk line is out there on the ice for Montreal. Boduk down the near side. Flips this one ahead. The Sabres trying to pick this one up. Played over towards the far corner to Jack-Eye. Back for Joe Veleno. Veleno takes a wild ride towards the end boards near side as Jack Quinn fades up the far half boards. Ryan McLeod tried to send for Jack Quinn. The pass too far for him. Timmins from sharp angle. That one off the top of the crease and kept in by McLeod down low. Wraparound! One-timer! Missed the net! Second effort didn't make its way to Jason Zucker. As his puck is set down the distance, Alex White has to come out to play this as Kirby Dach was closing in. What a chance for Jack Quinn to extend this lead to 5-2. Up the near side, it is Quinn playing this one towards the far corner as Buffalo wants to add to their goal totals. Noah Dobson with this puck over to Lane Hudson, who feeds Philip Deneau. Deneau around the near half boards, going opposite side. Back towards the far half boards as it's played out by Buffalo. Josh Anderson got this ahead. Alex Texier and Rasmus Dahlin going up one against one another. Texier plays this free. On one hand, digs it out for Deneau. Deneau. That shot changed direction off a Buffalo stick. And the Sabres get this one out as it bounces out through center. Lane Hudson beats it up for Deneau. The Canadiens are offside. It's a delayed offside, but Montreal will restart with this. Texier takes this across. Sends this in deep. Anderson and Samuelson come together. Loose puck picked up by the Sabres. They'll send this one out of the zone. No. Kept in by Matheson. Suzuki backhands around the boards. Back towards the right point. Fed for Matheson. Matheson lets one go. Stopped by Lyon from long distance. Played out. This will be iced against Buffalo. And it will be a face-off at the end of the ice. 3:40 into this third period. Jason Zucker to Jack Quinn. And Quinn missed the net, had a wide open net. He's frustrated with himself. He hit the goalpost in the second period. Face off to the left of Lyon as Power gets this out. This bounces through center. Benson got this all the way down. And Dobish leaves this one behind. Up the near side, this is Suzuki with it. Nick Suzuki fighting Cole Caulfield. Caulfield waits near half boards. It is Hudson. Back towards the right side. Fires deflected. And Suzuki can't get this one towards the net. Kept into play by Caulfield on for Slavkovsky. Back towards the right side for Dobson. Fed on around for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky fires. Stopped by Lyon. This puck is behind him. Bowen Byram can't get this one out, but he is helped out by several teammates. 2-on-2, the Sabres go back the other way as Thompson drops out for Krebs. He'll leave behind for Tuck. Tuck on his backhand. Wraparound try. Shut down. One off a stick and Suzuki plays this one behind for Hudson. Lane Hudson rushes this one up ahead and he'll defer back to his own zone. He'll head off for a change. New faces on the ice for both teams. The Evans line, the McLeod line, one-on-one with one another. Backpedaling is Alex Carrier. Is flipped on ahead. Demidov right after the puck with Timmins. Freed up towards the right point for Matheson. Mike Matheson, hard pass to Demidov. Demidov kept this one alive as he was falling. Quick shot, Lyon loose! And he stopped it as he was falling. Alex Newhook with a golden chance. He was looking around for traffic. Alex Lyon loses his balance. Alex Newhook of a great chance. Alex Tuck lost the puck on the wraparound. .507 gone in this third period. Tyson Kozak out on the ice. This fourth line side for Buffalo. The Evans line stays on. They win the faceoff. One-timer wide intentionally. Wanted a deflection as Byram. Wanted to get this out. Can't. But now can. Thanks to Greenway. Re-entering is Evans with the puck. He'll drop this up. Hard pass. And it was a really hard pass, but this gets taken back by Demidov. Demidov will send this towards the near corner. Alex Lyon leads it behind for power. Now it's Josh Norris. Norris flips this one corner to corner. Power. Wanting to send this one down. This one off a dock. Picked up by Buffalo. Norris. Got knocked away on the blue line. Kirby Dock will feed this one towards the far corner. Approaching 6 minutes gone here in this third period. Montreal needing 2 goals to tie this game. Icing against them, so they have to restart from their own zone. So with Buffalo up 4-2, 3 of the 4 regular season games have ended in 4-2 final scores, including Buffalo's pair of wins in the regular season and Montreal's and one of Montreal's victories. Well, Montreal's pair of victories and one of Buffalo's victories. This shot couldn't make it through. Rebound chance. Tuck swallowed up by Dobesh. And Doc has some words for Krebs. Krebs was hoping Doc cross-checks him at the face. Nothing happened there, so we'll head to break. Alec Nava here with you. Alongside Ian Genji, we'll be right back. As the night falls at Buffalo, I'd like to see where the shot caught one of the Sabres. Was it Alex Tuck? Or no, that's Caden Goulet. He made his way to the tunnel. He is back on the Canadiens bench. Goulet got stung by a shot block. 4-2 Sabres lead, 13:58 left in regulation. Montreal needs 2 to tie, 3 to win, if they were to hold on to regulation. Mike Matheson off this faceoff win by the Canadiens. It's played out back to him. Stick chopped at it. And this will be sent in to the penalty box doors. And the Sabres send this in deep. Mike Matheson again. Is Ian already left? I'm going to be taking this the rest of the way. Matheson waits. and flips this up far side. Alex Carrier sent it in deep. Bowen Byram is the first to the puck. Philip Deneau in pursuit. Josh Anderson was up ahead. Tage Thompson carrying this in. Alex Tuch on the drop pass. Tuch fired this one wide. That was a dangerous looking shot. Krebs was driving towards the net. Goaltender was coming out. This puck was dumped in from beyond the red line. No deflection, icing the call. The second game of this doubleheader is Game 2 between Vegas and Anaheim. The Golden Knights and the Ducks have arrived at the building at T-Mobile Arena. Face-off won by Montreal, but they see this puck go all the way back to their own zone as Dobesh leaves this one behind. Saw some action last year with the Canadiens after Sam Montembeault got injured. Montembeault is now a healthy scratch. Buffalo sends this in deep. Ryan McLeod takes it right along the wall. Noah Dobson will start up for the Canadiens. Montreal and Buffalo, the 4 regular season games between them were decided by 2 goals. Will this one be any different? Both teams are very similar to one another. These are the 2 youngest teams in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Delayed offside against Montreal as Buffalo moves this up near the benches. And this puck is out of play as it lands right inside the glass with Darren Pang. Oh man. Jason Zucker is giving Darren Pang a test of his patience. And Alex Tuch is happy to take it, and he's looking to find the right person. There are some Canadiens fans here on the stands. He launches this one to a young fan wearing a Sabres jersey, or shirt, excuse me. Beck Mallenstein sends this into the zone as Buffalo trying to get their lead back up to 3. Montreal trying to make this a 1-goal game. Several stick checks along the near half boards as Carrier gets it free to Woolley, who's back on the ice. He got stung by a shot block earlier. Bouncing puck at the Buffalo zone will be picked up by Timmins. Has Newhook on him. Alex Newhook working hard to keep this in for Montreal. Kozak and Evans fall down. Puck behind Lyon. Now at the far corner, Malazai to brace himself. Bowen Byram got rid of the puck. This exits out. It's down the ice, and Ivan Demidov will walk towards this puck as it's slow moving down. Line changing for both teams. Demidov is still out there. He'll leave behind for Matheson and go out for his change. Mike Matheson was the most used defenseman for Montreal in the first round. Lane Hudson not so far away. Dumped in deep through the far side. And it's going to be played towards the far corner. Bouncing puck is kept in by the Canadiens, wide of Alex Lyon. Guided towards the near corner as the Sabres are trying to play this one out. Bouncing puck at center ice as Matheson left this one over to Carrier. Offside to call as Joe Vallejo was a step ahead of the play. Zach Benson goes off. He's been having an outstanding game. A goal and an assist. And Josh Doan has been driving this third line so much. Face-off is won by Buffalo. So many players in which who can be in line for player of the game. That includes Josh Doan. As Noah Dobson moves up through the middle. Bouncing puck is knocked away. It'll be Lane Hudson to retrieve back at his own end. The Canadiens have 10.5 minutes to tie this game up. Peyton Krebs is shoved once by Cole Caulfield, sent up the far boards, and this it's knocked loose off a skate. Buffalo gets this back up onto Dobish's crease, who'll stick this one on for Hudson. Lane Hudson slows up, and that will make its way up. Fires this to the corner. Alex Lyon thought this was going to be ice. and Buffalo flips this out. Bouncing puck will be picked up by the Canadiens again. No shots in a while for either team, and the Sabres will keep this one alive. Here's Jack Quinn. As he looks up, Quinn fires, save Dobish! Driven wide, wraparound try! Dobish didn't know where it was. Played up for center, foot race for this puck will be won by Connor Timmins, who gets stick lifted by Josh Anderson, but his teammate Logan Stanley helps him out. Philip Deneau rushing to this puck. Played out to center to goalie. Fed up for the near side, Anderson sends it in deep. Texier in pursuit. Texier shoves away Stanley. Support arrives for Buffalo. Anderson tied up. Couldn't get a stick onto the ice. Now can. Plays it over to Texier. Anderson tied up on the one-timer. Jason Zucker back with this puck. 9:17 left in its third period. Sabres lead 4-2. The last goal was Kirby Dach's amazing solo effort. We have no goals to speak of in this third period. Goalie fighting through the pain. He's out on the ice. Puck sent in deep, and his foot race will be won by Buffalo's. One of the Habs comes sliding down. Tyson Kozak feeds it to himself. Here's Kozak coming in. Kozak backhander. That missed Greenway. He was coming in front and couldn't get a stick onto the puck. Another Sabre falls down. And here are the Canadiens coming back. Alex Carrier's tied up at the far half boards. Played out to Evans at the right point. Evans can't hold it. And the Sabres will dump this down the distance. Jakub Dobich releases one behind for Mike Matheson. Matheson slowly working his way up. Bouncing puck will be won by Zach Boduk, but it's driven away by Alex Line. Dak Benson with speed. A ton of it. Up the middle. Benson almost lost it. Gets it back at the near corner. Backhands it around for Rasmus Dahlin. Plays out towards the left point. Here's a long shot. Never made its way through. Off of Josh Norris as Noah Dobson picks up. Dobson tied up on the backhand. And he'll flip it through to Lane Hudson. Joe Veleno is out there. Veleno plays this out towards the near corner. Logan Stanley gets bumped. Along the far half boards, here's Tage Thompson. Zach Benson gets this one through. And he'll be picked up by Connor Timmins. Timmins plays this to Hudson. 7:35 remains here in the third period. Tie up along the far corner. Still plenty of time here for Montreal to come back. Caden Gooley gets this up towards the near side. And Josh Anderson takes it right along the wall. Connor Timmins is the first to the puck. It's Cole Caulfield who plays this one out. To the left point is Gooley. Gooley will defer towards the right point. Carrier got this into the skates of Krebs and Suzuki. Fires his one around for Caulfield. Tangled up at the far corner. Thompson poked this one out. Bouncing puck makes his way to Carrier and it's played out towards the near half boards, where Slavkovsky collides in. Played out to Gooley at the deep left point. Back for Slavkovsky, who handles it top of the left circle. Slavkovsky wrists one, and that went off of the body in front. And Buffalo clears this one all the way out. Cole Caulfield will restart. Back over to Gooley, and Caulfield will head off. Time is winding down for Montreal. They try to tie this game up. Fed up for Deneau, who backhands this deep. Kept in by Montreal as it's sent in towards the near corner. Philip Deneau. Alex Texier at the left circle gets stick lifted. Keeps it in the zone. Bowen Byram hounding him down. Texier frees himself up. Here's Jack Guy firing it. And it's blocked. And it's out of play with 6:14 left in the third period. Arbor Jack Guy, who came into the lineup replacing Jaden Struble. It is Jack Quinn, who came close to scoring again. 6:14 left in the third. We'll be right back. next are the Anaheim Ducks and the Vegas Golden Knights, Game 2 of the Western Conference Semifinals. Mitch Marner coming up a 7-point series against the Utah Mammoth in his first series with the Vegas Golden Knights. Driving his own line. And William Karlsson came back for Vegas. First time that he's played since November. Face off to the right of Alex Lyon. And Alex Newhook loses this one cleanly. Rasmus Dahlin tried to get this out. And just barely it comes out the zone. Buffalo drives this out with Beck Malenstein. The former Washington Capital. Here's Tyson Kozak. Kozak staying with this puck as he gets hauled down. Here's Greenway centering one up. Another chance. Oh, it stayed out. Chaos at the front of the net as Kozak went down. He and Lane Hutzer still trying to get up, so it's 4-on-4 for the moment. Ivan Demidov in pursuit of the puck. Gordon Greenway got tied up. Big shift as Hudson arrives late to the play in time for a shot that got blocked. 5:30 left in the third as Alex Newhook got tangled up. Held inside by Montreal. Noah Dobson backhands this deep. Swept away by Samuelson, went off of Evans. Evans got tied up on the pass, and Greenway sends this one out. It's going to be iced. No, it's not. Didn't make its way far enough. Lane Hudson evading Josh Doan. Will move this one up for Caden Gooley. Gooley entering the zone. Across the ice. Centering pass gets knocked down. And Caulfield trying to strip the puck away from Doan. Doan sends this one to the far corner. Carrier plays this one out. And this gets sent towards the far half boards. Up through center. This is Carrier. Carrier over to Slavkovsky, who missed it. Suzuki backhands this one deep. Puck is up at the slot in the air. Fired wide. Slavkovsky in pursuit after Doan. Plays this one to Power, who lifts this one out. And Buffalo's comfortable playing defensive hockey the rest of the way. 16 shots on goal here for the Sabres. They found the back of the net 4 times. Canadiens have fired 23 shots on Alex Lyon. Found the back of the net twice. Here's Jack Quinn. And Dobes saw that one. Long stretch pass was deflected, no icing. Kirby Dach with the touch. Connor Timmins slams him towards the boards. Bouncing puck will come to Montreal's end. Icing is canceled out. Alex Tuch in pursuit of Mike Matheson. 4 minutes left. As this bounces out, Alex Lyon plays this out. We'll have to see if Jakub Dobes heads to the bench. Here's Matheson who backpedals. Matheson lets one go. That's wide. And he picked up by Montreal. Centering pass never made his way through as Matheson trying to track down his puck as Tuch plays it out. 6 shots on goal for the Canadiens in this period as opposed to Buffalo's 1. The Buffalo's been playing like the better team offensively and defensively in this game. Bouncing puck is picked up by the Sabres. The Canadiens drive that one away. And what the Sabres was diving, trying to sell a penalty. 3 minutes left in this one. In regulation, if we need overtime. How much longer will this go? Ivan Demidov backs this one out, and here is a long shot. Rebound in front, and a big block in front by Buffalo. Lane Hudson another chance. Loose in front. Jake Evans can't get this one going. The loose puck is still free. Montreal keeps this one alive. Dobes heading towards the bench. One-timer. And Lyon with another save. He'll hang on with 2:47 just as Dobes made it to the bench. On his right leg. Montreal's pushing hard for the 2 goals. And here's the development. Rasmus Dahlin is going down the tunnel. We'll step away for the moment. Rasmus Dahlin with a tremendous block on Jake Evans right on his knee. Oof. That was the block that sent him down the tunnel. We'll have to check on his status. He's back. Just came out of the medical room. He's back on the Sabres bench. He was just getting checked on by the Sabres medical staff for a brief moment. Now the tunnel. Alex Lyon has stopped 23 of 25 tonight. It's been amazing here for the Sabres ever since he first took over in the crease in relief of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. That is empty on the other end. Fans waving their towels here at KeyBank. Josh Norris wins this faceoff. Alec Dobson here with you. As is a race for this puck. Zach Benson hustling ahead. Icy is waved off. Noah Dobson canceling out Zach Benson as this puck comes out towards the near corner. It's picked up by Suzuki. 2:30 left. And Suzuki drops back for Lane Hudson. Hudson fires around the far side. It's Suzuki. Demidov keeps his one alive. Slavkovsky reloads, fires, save by Lyon. 4 forwards and 2 defensemen. Slavkovsky, Demidov, Suzuki, Caulfield, Dobson, Hudson. That's a 6-man combo here. It's the top power play unit plus Dobson, who is operated as the Islanders' top power play quarterback in his time there. Alex Lyon sees his face off to his right. Philip Deneau will take it. He replaces Ivan Demidov in this. We will rock each edge here as this pass comes out towards the slot. That hit a skate. 2:10 left as Dobson fakes the one-timer. Back to Suzuki. Elevates one. And Lyon couldn't locate it. Puck kept alive here. Side to net. Lyon to save. 2 minutes left. Philip Deneau keeps this one alive here at the near corner as Montreal tries to dig this one out. Suzuki places one back, and this skips over the stick of Dobson. This rolls back deep into Montreal's own zone. 1:45 left. Time being a factor here and is against them. Dobson enters this in. Dobson flips this to the near corner. Backhands this one around. Krebs tried to get this one out. Couldn't. Held in by Hudson. Offside! Hudson took it just outside the zone. 91 seconds left. And the shot by Nick Suzuki was a twisting one, and Lyon tried to slap it out. A tough puck to track as it was deflected in front. A knuckle puck that was coming his way. Timeout called by the Canadiens. A chance to have the top players catch their breath with 1:31 left. The offensive mind of Marty St. Louis should be on full display. And see how this series goes along. The Buffalo Sabres have only won once at home this postseason. Game 1 against the Boston Bruins in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals this year. The Montreal Canadiens likewise won once at home this postseason. That being Game 3 against the Tampa Bay Lightning with Lane Hudson, the overtime hero. Jakub Domic back on the bench. Alex Lyon will see this faceoff be just outside his zone. Josh Norris, 11 of 17 on faceoffs. Nick Suzuki, 9 of 17. Advantage Suzuki. He was his 10th one. As a set play as Montreal tried to get this one up. Buffalo tried to end this. And there are too many sticks in the way. 1:18 left. Ivan Demidov drops back. Here's Slavkovsky down the far side. Slavkovsky entering it himself. Slavkovsky. He changes sides here. And a bump with the puck here at the near corner. Nick Suzuki to Yuri Slavkovsky. Suzuki tries to get this back over to Hudson and does. From the left point. Back to Suzuki. From the deep point here is Dobson. A long shot. Didn't make his way forward to net. 52 seconds left. Nick Suzuki surveying at the near corner. Sending pass in front. And then stopped by Lyon. Caulfield to Dobson. Kept this one over to Demidov. Slavkovsky back for Demidov. Looks at Dobson's way. Going back for Demidov. Hudson. Back over to Dobson one more time. Dobson let one go. And that hit a body in front. Tie up behind the net. 26 seconds. Hudson. As the Sabres fans are counting down to seconds. Bouncing puck at the far half boards. Montreal need to score quickly here. And this will be out of play with 16 and a half seconds left. Josh Norris is tired. He goes off for a change. The towel's flying here as Sabres fans are having a heck of a time here at KeyBank Center. A nice save on Ivan Demidov by Alex Lyon this late in the game. 16 and a half seconds left. Puck comes to the right point as it's kept in by the Canadiens, but they're not going to have enough time to score twice. The Buffalo Sabres take game one of this Eastern Conference Semifinals. And for the fourth time between these two teams, it's a 4-2 final score, regular season and postseason. "28 shots for the Canadiens, 16 for the Sabres. Their second win at home ice in this postseason as the Sabres threw out Alex Lyon, who stopped 26 of 28 on the night. And the Montreal Canadiens, time for adjustments here as it shifts to game two. Your player of the game tonight is Josh Doan. 1 goal, 1 assist on 3 shots. A driving force up and down the ice, offensively and defensively. 2 hits to go of those 3 shots. Alex Lyon is up 26 of 28. Alongside Ian Genji, I am Alec Nava saying good night from Buffalo.